After the Civil War, the United States turned its eyes westward. Millions of Americans moved into new territories in search of land, wealth, and opportunity. But this expansion came at a devastating cost to Native American nations, to the land, and to the very meaning of freedom. The belief in manifest destiny, that Americans were destined to expand across the continent, drove aggressive westward expansion. By the 1840s and 1850s, the U.S. had acquired Texas, California, Oregon Territory, much of the Southwest from Mexico in 1848. After the Civil War, expansion intensified. Homestead Act of 1862 offered 160 acres of free land to settlers who farmed it for 5 years. Millions of people moved west, including immigrants, freed African Americans, and Civil War veterans. The Transcontinental Railroad, completed in 1869, connected the east and west coasts for the first time, built by thousands of immigrant workers, Chinese in the west, Irish in the east. Reduced coast-to-coast travel time from months to mere days, fueled migration, trade, and the destruction of indigenous lands. Towns sprang up along the rail lines. A new, industrialized West was taking shape. From the 1860s to 1890s, the American cattle industry boomed. Cowboys drove herds from Texas to railheads in Kansas. The era of the Wild West was born, filled with saloons, outlaws, lawmen, and legends. But the reality was more complex. Cowboys were often Black, Mexican, and Native, not just white gunslingers. Life on the frontier was harsh and lawless, but not glamorous. The myth of the West would later be exaggerated in movies and books, but its cultural impact was real. Westward expansion came at a devastating cost to Native Americans. Treaties were broken. Tribes were pushed onto reservations, often on poor, unproductive land. The U.S. military engaged in brutal wars against indigenous peoples. Key events: Sand Creek Massacre, 1864. Over 150 Cheyenne and Arapaho, mostly women and children, were slaughtered by U.S. troops. The Battle of Little Bighorn, 1876, also known as Custer's Last Stand. Native warriors, led by Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse, defeated U.S. forces. Wounded Knee Massacre, 1890. Over 250 Lakota killed in the final major conflict. By 1900, most Native American societies had been destroyed or severely weakened. Frontier life was harsh. Settlers faced droughts, blizzards, isolation, and poverty. Women played key roles: farming, raising families, defending homes. African American pioneers, known as Exodusters, established communities in Kansas and beyond, fleeing Southern racism. New inventions like the steel plow, windmill, and barbed wire changed farming forever. By the 1890s, the frontier was declared closed. In 1890, the U.S. Census reported there was no longer a clear line of frontier. The land had been claimed. Historian Frederick Jackson Turner wrote the Frontier Thesis, arguing that the frontier had shaped American democracy, rugged individualism, and expansionist spirit. But the frontier also meant genocide of native peoples, environmental destruction, and corporate control of land and resources. The West became central to the American identity, stories of self-reliance, freedom, and adventure, but also a legacy of conquest, displacement, and inequality. Today, debates continue over land rights, cultural memory, and environmental impact. Westward expansion was not just about land. It was about the soul of America, and its echoes still shape the nation today. In Part 8, we'll dive deep into America's rise as an industrial powerhouse, the Gilded Age, the labor movement, and the vast inequality hidden beneath gold and steel.